What is up? What is up, everybody? This is Cam Jennings, aka Zero Fats, aka Cam Fats, coming at you on behalf of the Cam Fats daily vlog. Hope everybody's doing amazing out there on this fine Tuesday evening. I want to talk to you guys today about this subject about YouTube. Is YouTube dying in 2018? Kind of a dramatic title, but I thought it was fitting because it's what was on my mind. And I did a live stream on Facebook a couple days ago. And it's funny, I was doing a live stream on Facebook a couple days ago, and I was talking about affiliate marketing, actually. I wasn't even talking about YouTube, but the people who were on that live stream who were asking me questions, they wanted to ask me a lot of questions about YouTube. So I kind of got in a big discussion about YouTube. So I thought I'd come over to this channel today and just talk about YouTube and my thoughts on YouTube. This is day 84 of my daily vlog. So I've put a piece of content on this YouTube channel 84 days in a row. So I've been spending a lot of time on YouTube. Now, normally, guys, I have to say on my other YouTube channels, I've always kind of like dedicated myself to putting one video out a week. Right? That's always what I committed to until this channel, and I committed to putting a video out a day. And I've been doing that for 84 days. And I'm going to tell you before this video is over how long I plan to do that for, and why I'm doing it, and what are my goals. I'll let you guys know that because I don't want you to think it's just willy-nilly. I don't want you guys to move in a willy-nilly kind of fashion. If you want to start a YouTube channel, or if you want to start an online business, or if you want to do anything like this with social media, dude, don't waste your time. You know what I mean? Don't waste your time. You know, whatever you're doing, make sure there's a reason for it. Either a personal reason that makes sense for you, or some kind of financial reason that makes sense for you. Ideally, a little bit of both. For me, usually I don't do things unless they make sense from both of those directions. Like I have some kind of a passion for it. It makes sense personally, and it makes sense financially. I usually only work if I can make both of those things happen for me. And this is no different. So I will let you guys know my plans for this channel and why it makes sense from both of those aspects before this video is over. But before I start into that, I just want to make a few points about YouTube. All right. Now, YouTube, you might remember a few months back, they changed their monetization plans. They changed their monetization policies. You needed 1,000 subscribers to monetize a YouTube channel. And you needed at least 4,000 hours of watch time within a 12-month period to monetize a YouTube channel. So in order for you to actually be eligible to monetize your videos, as far as like the ad revenue in the front of the videos, when you see the commercials in front of the videos, in order for you to be able to do that, you need at least 4,000 hours of watch time within a 12-month period on your channel, and you need at least 1,000 subscribers. This is something I already have in 2 of my other YouTube channels, right? But when they changed that policy, I felt inspired to start a new channel because I wanted to see what it would be like to start from scratch. Like if I was a new person just starting over from scratch, how hard would it be to grow in this new climate, right? Because it's one thing to publish videos on a channel where you already got like 16,000 subscribers and you're already monetized, and now you're doing videos every day. Well, you're getting paid for those videos. No matter what else you affiliate with, or no matter what else you promote, you're just being paid inherently by YouTube, and you can put ads in front. And I can do that on 2 of my channels. But I wanted to know what it was like if you couldn't do that, if you're starting brand new from scratch, right? So that's what I wanted to explore with this channel, right? And that new monetization policy, if you ask me, what I feel like it's done effectively is it has crippled the future of YouTube. It's kind of cut the future out from under YouTube. They've crippled their own future because what's happened is that really makes it hard for a new person who has ideas, like creatively, they want to be creative. They want to start a YouTube channel on movie reviews or, you know, makeup or whatever else they want to talk about. Anybody, whatever you want to talk about, right, on YouTube. Like, now it's a different climate if you want to do that. You know, I've been putting a piece of content on this channel every single day for 84 days now. And you know, monetarily, like, it doesn't feel like it makes sense as far as like the time that I put into it versus anything I would get out of it. It doesn't feel like it makes a lot of sense. And I'll get into why in a bit, but just for now with the monetization, just understand, I feel like, hey, the way that YouTube has their policy now, I feel like it's crippling new growth for video creators, like the up and coming stars of YouTube, the YouTubers that will be stars in, like, you know, 2020, right? Those people, it's crippling them. That's not going to happen. The people who would have been stars in 2020 because they're just getting started, it won't happen because they're not going to be inspired to keep going because they're not making any money. Mitchy Boy asks, wonder if there's a chance they will change the 1,000 subs thing. You know, Mitchy Boy, they might. I don't think, I'll tell you what, guys, I don't think the 1,000 subs is the big issue. You can get to 1,000 subs. That's not the biggest issue. I think the biggest issue with the new monetization policy is the 4,000 hours of watch time, right? I've been publishing a video every day on this channel, and I see right now that this channel, at its current rate, is probably going to hit 4,000 hours of watch time in a 12-month period, probably about month 8 or month 9. Probably about month 8 or month 9. And that's publishing a video every day. Most people don't have that kind of ambition to publish a video every single day. It takes a lot of, you know, it takes a lot of willpower to do that every single day, you know. So, you know, I think that's the main issue, personally. But anyways, so I think with the new monetization policies, I think they're kind of crippling the future of YouTube, right? So now, the second issue, if you guys have been watching a lot of YouTube top trending videos, people like Philip DeFranco, you know, Boogie, people like that, H3H3, a lot of the bigger top kind of YouTube guys who have millions of subscribers have been talking about suppression of videos, if you noticed. And what they mean by that is, like, their videos aren't getting as many views as they used to get. And the reason why they feel like this is happening is because YouTube's got this kind of video rating system, like, that you don't see as a video creator. You don't see it. You don't realize it's there. But the YouTube algorithm, there's an algorithm, like a bot. There's an artificial intelligence that examines your video and determines what the rating on the video is, right? And the reason we know this is because when you go in to advertise with YouTube, if you go to YouTube to advertise as an advertiser, you can choose what kind of videos you want to put your stuff in front of with a rating system. So if you can do that, then it's assumed that YouTube is rating these videos behind the scenes. So what happens is, if your video is rated mature for whatever reason by this artificial intelligence, your video is suppressed from a larger audience, right? Now, I think that the problem is the artificial intelligence doesn't really have it, you know, it's not a perfected science. So many times you can have a video that really doesn't deserve to be suppressed, but it gets suppressed to a smaller audience, and your video just doesn't get out there to all the people it should get out there to. You know, people are upset that, you know, when someone subscribes to their channel and when they hit the bell notification to be notified when that person releases a new video, they're not being notified of those things because the artificial intelligence only really notifies a percentage of their subscribers and a percentage of the people who want to be notified. And they notify them based off of what their viewer behavior is, what kind of videos that person, like, if I'm like Mitchy Boy, if I'm subscribed to your channel, but I haven't watched any of your videos in a couple months, even though, like, I've subscribed to your channel and I've clicked the bell for notifications for when you release a new video, if I haven't watched any of your videos for a month or two, like YouTube's not going to notify me when you release a new video. The algorithm, the artificial intelligence that is in charge of that, it won't notify me. So in effect, we have an artificial intelligence kind of making decisions for you now as a viewer, making decisions for you what you want to watch. And it's this shoveling stuff in front of your feed based off of your watch behavior, not really based off of choices that you've made. So that's interesting to me, and that's what's happening. So what do I think about that on a personal level? Well, when I said I think the new monetization policy is effectively crippling the future of YouTube, I think this kind of viewer suppression, artificial intelligence thing that they got going on, I think it's crippling the top of YouTube. It's crippling that top 5% of YouTube. It's crippling the present for YouTube. The people who are hot right now on YouTube, the people who are, bringing in the money on YouTube, I think this viewer suppression system is crippling those people. So you kind of have like this weird like vice going on YouTube right now. You have this monetization policy that's crippling the future. You have this viewer suppression algorithm that's crippling the top percentage of YouTubers. Everybody's unhappy with that kind of situation. But what it equals right there, if you look at those two things, what it equals is YouTube is being careless with their creators. They're being very careless with their video creators. And if you want to know why these things are happening, it's just about money. It's like the answer to 99 out of 100 questions, right? It's all about money. YouTube survives and works because of advertising. So, it's really an effort to bow down to advertisers, to make the platform more advertiser friendly. They're doing these things. That's why they're doing these things, to make it as advertiser friendly as possible. But the problem is, like I said, I think that they're being a little careless with their creators, and they're kind of attacking the creative community from the bottom and from the top at the same time. And I mean, come on, you don't have to be rocket scientists to figure out that's not sustainable to, attack your content creators like that. It doesn't make sense. Okay, so let's add to that pressure a little bit. We're talking about a vice right now. Now let's add to that pressure a little bit. Okay, now you might have noticed that more and more celebrities are coming onto YouTube. People like Will Smith, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, big time celebrities coming onto YouTube and, starting YouTube channels, right? And these are people that already have star power. I mean, they have lots of star power. So they're coming into the YouTube space and they're creating channels, and, they're accomplishing amazing things like, 100,000 subscribers in like less than 24 hours, like over 1 million subscribers in less than a month or something, just crazy feats, And of course they would, because they have a lot of star power. They have a lot of star power. They have a lot of money. They're already legitimate superstars. My gosh, Will Smith's one of the most famous people in the world. I don't think you could name an actor who is, you could argue is just, more popular than Will Smith. I mean, pretty much everybody knows who that is. So, you got to ask yourself why. Why is that happening? Why would these big time stars who are television stars and movie stars start YouTube channels? It's kind of weird, right? That doesn't make sense. Well, it does make sense. And I'll tell you why. My next point will tell you why it makes sense. But to finish this point, all the big stars coming onto YouTube who didn't create success on YouTube, they created success off of YouTube on television and other places where we have come to know them. They're taking market share on YouTube, right? So that's adding to the pressure of the vice. Now we got new monetization policies, we got viewer suppression, we got legit television stars coming in, and it's all kind of adding to this pressure cooker on YouTube. It makes it a volatile climate right now. So that brings me to my next point. We talk about the idea of, is YouTube dying? Because the picture I just painted for you guys kind of would indicate that YouTube is setting itself up for a fall. It's setting itself up to fail, right? But the thing about it is, I don't really believe that YouTube is set up for a fall. I don't believe it, guys. I think YouTube is set up for a transition. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I think that YouTube is starting to embrace its role as the new television. I mean, YouTube is the new television. Most people, watch YouTube more than they watch television. People watch television sometimes, but people watch YouTube throughout the day, on their phones, on their tablets, on their television, on their laptops, throughout the day. And I think in 2018, 2017, and here we go into 2018, I think YouTube has started to embrace its role as the new television. And what that means is being more advertiser friendly, being more accepting to big time celebrities, letting them come on and just dominate the platform. They're here because YouTube's the new television. Will Smith is here because here is where it's at, right? Jimmy Kimmel, like you look at Jimmy Kimmel, you look at Jimmy Fallon. I mean, look, why are all their late night talk shows cut up into clips and put on their YouTube channel? Because that's how they get to their audience now, right? That's how they reach that new audience, because that's where people are watching television now on YouTube. That's why they're there. So I think that YouTube is starting to embrace the role as the new television, and I think that that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a transition in YouTube. And then you got to ask yourself, well, if that's the way it is and YouTube is the new television now, is there even a place for me on that platform? Because look, guys, I've asked myself that question. I mean, I'm just the normal guy. I make money on the internet, and I'm not like some kind of amazing superstar or anything. I'm not Jimmy Kimmel material here. You know what I mean? I'm just the guy who makes money on the internet. I love YouTube, and I love that anybody can just start a YouTube channel and now, bam, you have a television show. That's pretty cool to me. But do I feel like I can compete with like Will Smith? Not really. I mean, I don't even feel like I can really compete with like a Casey Neistat or something. I mean, these guys are just really, really good at what they do. And I love video and I love YouTube, but I'm not like under any kind of like delusions that I'm some kind of amazing video creator. I know my videos are pretty grassroots and pretty, lo-fi, but I kind of like that. That's kind of what I like. But that's just me. So you got to ask yourself, do I have a place on YouTube? And I'll tell you guys my opinion on that before this video is over. But let me just say that I do believe YouTube is in a transitional phase, and it's kind of moving towards this embracing itself as the new television. That's what I think. Now, YouTube Red. I want to talk about YouTube Red for a minute, because YouTube Red is like YouTube's paid platform. Like you can get YouTube Red, and I think it's like $10 a month. And if you get that, you don't have any ads in the front of your videos. Now, the way that works, like if you're a YouTube creator and you're in the partners program and your videos are monetized, I have 2 channels. Now I speak from experience because I have 2 channels that are monetized. Okay, Zero Fats Returns, monetized. NutriBullet Time, monetized. Okay, my other channels have been kicked out of the monetization program because they don't make enough. They don't have enough views. They don't have enough watch time to be eligible, so they were kicked out. But those two channels make money every month, and they're in the monetization program. So YouTube Red is this kind of upgraded platform for YouTube. If you pay for YouTube Red as a viewer, you don't have to watch any ads. As a creator, if your videos are monetized and you're in the partner program, you get a portion of that revenue. So all these people who pay $10 a month, like you get a portion of that YouTube Red revenue based on how many people viewed your videos, right? How many people viewed your videos, you get a portion of the YouTube Red money. Now, the problem is, well, I monitor my analytics. This channel alone, the Cam Fats channel, well, people are also watching Cam Fats videos who have YouTube Red subscriptions, right? So, and I can see how much they're watching the Cam Fats videos with, you know, YouTube Red subscription. So I could see how much money I would be making if I was in the partner program, right? The difference, because it's an average, it's an estimate in the analytics. The difference is I actually make that money on my other channels, but on the Cam Fats channel, I'm not in the partners program because I don't meet the requirements of 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers. So I can see how much I would be making from YouTube Red revenue, but you know, I don't make that money. So you might ask, well, who makes that money? Well, all the partners that it's not like, you know, okay, so it's not like the people who pay for YouTube Red, it's not like the money that I should be getting from YouTube Red, like it just gets put in a pot and when I become eligible, I get that money. That's not how it is. All the YouTube Red revenue that's generated is split between the other video creators. So you got to ask yourself, well, who gets the money from my channel? Well, I would imagine that it goes to YouTube. That's what I would imagine. Or it's split equally among all the other creators. But what it boils down to is my videos are getting monetized via YouTube Red, but that money's being split up amongst other creators or just being taken up by YouTube. So that doesn't really sit well with me. And like, I think that you could argue, well, dude, look, if it was anything considerable, like if it was a substantial amount of money at all, you'd be able to monetize the channel. You know what I'm saying? Like if you had the minimum of 4,000 hours of watch time and, you know, you had 1,000 subscribers, then you could monetize the channel and it would be fine. Because it's such a small amount, it really doesn't matter anyway. Well, you could argue that, but I think personally, fair is fair. I mean, if YouTube wants to take the stance that, hey, your channel doesn't matter enough to be monetized, you're not doing good enough stuff yet to actually matter to us, we're not going to let you be in our monetization program, then I think that you should be able to have the option to uncheck being part of the YouTube Red program. But it doesn't make sense though, you know what I mean? Because YouTube's a free platform. Everybody can watch the videos for free. So the people who have YouTube Red, they get to watch the videos for free. They just don't have to watch any advertising. So inherently they're going to watch your videos for free. But the problem is they're paying for YouTube Red and YouTube's making money off of them. Then they're splitting that money up with the creators who, you know, who are eligible for monetization. I don't know. It's just a big mess. Well, what I'm saying though is it's not fair. It's not fair. I mean, your videos are being monetized. You're just not eligible to receive any of that money. And the way I see it is this. If you start a brand new channel, even if it's only $5 a month, you know, like that makes a difference for someone who is working at a job they don't like and they start a YouTube channel because they're trying to do something different. They're trying to step out of their comfort zone a little bit and try something new. They're taking a shot. Just making $1 or $2 a month, that would inspire them to keep going and to make better videos and to add more value to the market and to do better things. But like, I mean, I try to put myself in the shoes of someone who's never made any money online before. And they've never had any success. And I think about the time and the effort I put into daily vlogs on this channel. And I think, like, would I have the ambition to keep on doing this if it hadn't made any money yet, which it hasn't, but I didn't even know if I could make money with it. I didn't know if it was possible. I'd never made any money online before. I don't know how to do it. I'm trying to figure it out. I think very quickly I would come to the conclusion I was wasting my time doing daily vlogs, and I think it would come long before day 84. So that's what I think, and it kind of brings me back to my first point, that I think the new monetization policies are crippling the future of YouTube. That's what I think about that. But with the YouTube Red thing, yeah, I think YouTube Red was out before the new policy changes came out. And I think it's just something that not everyone's really, paid that much attention to. But I pay attention to dollars and cents. So I paid attention to it because, you gotta pay attention to numbers, you guys. Look, I hate numbers just as much as everybody. I hate analytics. I hate SEO. I hate all that crap. But, you got to pay attention to it a little bit for your business to survive, for you to grow online. I mean, you got to pay attention to things like that at least a little bit. So me personally, I like to know where all the money's at. I like to know where all the money's going, where all the money's coming. I like to keep a close track on what's happening with the money. And YouTube Red is like one of those little anomalies that doesn't sit well with me, even though I know there's not a lot of money that would be coming this channel's way, because it's not a very big channel. It's a baby channel, but it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's like the fact that, there is monetization happening and your channel's included in that, but you aren't making the cut. Like, that feeling just doesn't sit well with me. And I don't think it should sit well with anybody who is a small creator who's not eligible for the monetization program, but your videos are being viewed through the YouTube Red program. You just aren't eligible to receive any money from that. Mitch Boy says, wouldn't that end up being a lot more? It's not like your average person is going to watch 10,000 videos a month. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Mitch. Try to explain that in a different way. I'm not sure what you mean by that, buddy. Randy, it could be because it's late, man, and I'm kind of tired. Break it down like a kindergartner, Mitchy. Mitchy boy, break it down like a kindergartner for me, man. Randy Hall says, my man Randy Hall in the house. Wonder how much in administrative fees YouTube was paying for all the smaller channels who no longer qualify for monetization. Well, honestly, Randy, when you say administrative fees, I'm not sure what you mean by that. I know that I've read several reports that YouTube doesn't pay for bandwidth. So, if that's kind of like what you mean by administrative fees, then, there you go. I think that, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's, everybody's entitled to their opinions. So that's what I'd say about that. I just, before I move on that, guys, I just want to say there's definitely a vice happening on YouTube. No matter which side of the coin you stand on, the new monetization policies definitely cripple the future of YouTube when it comes to new content creators. And the video suppression tactics that YouTube's using right now is definitely crippling their top 5% YouTubers. And then you add in all the new celebrities. There's definitely a transition happening. YouTube's definitely embracing its role as the new television. But I don't know what that means for their video creators in the future. Oh yeah, there's definitely stuff to consider, Randy. Dude, yeah, totally. And me and you, we always disagree on things, but you definitely have good points, man. There's definitely stuff to consider. I think the main thing is YouTube wants to win as a platform. Yeah, they do. They totally do, Randy. They have channels with millions of subscribers who get thousands of views within an hour of posting. And if you'll notice, a lot of those channels that get millions of subscribers within thousands of views within an hour of posting, a lot of those channels are complaining their videos are being suppressed right now. So that's the video suppression thing I was talking about. So it's kind of a vice. It's happening at both ends of the spectrum. So look, I'm in a unique position to talk to you guys about to talk about this next thing. The next thing is you know, should you start a YouTube channel in 2018? Is it still worth your time? Can you even make it happen? I'm in a unique position to talk about this because I've started several YouTube channels over the years. Like when I started Zero Fats Returns, YouTube was in a certain place, right? When I started NutriBullet Time, YouTube was in a certain place. And I bring up those two channels a lot because those are my two channels that actually make money. Here's the thing. When I started Zero Fast Returns, like it was pretty easy to get followers who wanted to know how to make money on Amazon, right? And when I started talking about other ways to make money online, that's when I started kind of fragmenting my audience a little bit. So then it became a little bit more sporadic as far as like, my channel growth slowed down a little bit when I started branching out what I talked about. But if I stuck really tight on just like how to make money on Amazon, like I had really good channel growth and people were very interested in what I had to say. So put that aside. And I wanted to put that to the test. When I started NutriBullet Time, I bought a NutriBullet, and like my whole goal was just to make the money back that I spent on this blender, which was like $100. That was my goal. And like I did that like really quick. I made that money back really fast. And all I had to do was just start this channel and talk about the NutriBullet. I talked about this blender. Like every video was about this blender. It was very, very tight. It was a very tight channel about one subject. So the point was, when those channels were big, when I started those channels, the way you really grew on YouTube was niching down and dominating a small space, if that makes sense. You niched down, and very quickly you became the authority on that small topic on YouTube. And all the people who cared about that one topic, they kind of gravitated towards your channel because you were the authority, and YouTube promoted your videos to those people once they showed interest in that subject. And that was really easy to grow a channel when I created those channels. Now in 2018, with the Cam Fats Daily Vlog, I can tell you it's different. The climate is different. It's different because of the vice I was talking about to you guys earlier, but it's also different because of the emphasis on like viewer engagement, how a viewer reacts to the content. The emphasis now is on watch time. You hear everybody talking about watch time, but it's more than watch time. The emphasis is on tracking viewers and tracking what they like, right? And it's crazy. It's to the point where YouTube really doesn't even care what channels they're subscribed to and what channels they want notifications from. They really don't even respect that very much. What they really care about is what you're watching, because they want to put more of that in front of you. YouTube's goal is to keep you on the platform. YouTube's goal is to keep you here as long as possible for hours and hours, just watching video after video after video. And that's how it reacts. So that's different. That's different than when I started those other channels. That's different. So what it's equaled for me over the last 84 days is it's equaled this. It's more challenging to grow a YouTube channel in 2018 than it was even as recently as 2016. It's just more challenging. You could start a channel right now on the NutriBullet or something very specific, right? And you could just talk about that one thing every single video. Like you could dominate that small space. Like there could be no other YouTube channels out there about, for an example, like you could start a YouTube channel about how to get a girl's phone number, right? Now there's plenty of channels out there about, how to pick up girls or, how to have a successful relationship. There's plenty of relationship type channels out there, but there's no real channels out there that just deal with this one subject, ways to get a girl's phone number, that one little tight subject. So you could start a YouTube channel in 2016 on that one little tight subject, and you could just like dominate it, right? You could just dominate the space. And it would equal fast channel growth. And then you could start branching out a little bit. And by the time you branched out, you'd already have a nice core following. But now in 2018, you could dominate that space as far as content, but like your videos, they won't get out there to the people. You know what I mean? Like YouTube won't put your videos out there in front of people unless they're seeing the right metrics, unless people are watching your videos for a little while, they're engaging with the content. Like they're looking at how people are reacting to your videos to determine if they want to put it in front of other people, right? So this is a lot different than how it's been in the past. And what it equals is it equals that it's harder to grow a YouTube channel. It's harder, right? So the system is more intuitive. It's more intuitive. It's different now. So I found it challenging to grow this channel so far. I'm going to keep on working on growing this channel. I want to crack this. I want to crack this egg, crack this nut, whatever you want to call it. You know, I think, but to answer the question, should you start a YouTube channel in 2018? Look, I'll be honest with you. All right. This is still YouTube. All right. It's still the only player in the game. You know, we could talk about Twitch. We could talk about Facebook live stream. We could talk about all these other Instagram. We could talk about a lot of the platforms who do video, but this is YouTube. All right. And YouTube is the new television, not Instagram, not Facebook, not Twitch. YouTube is the new television. All right. And that's the way I believe. And it's not because I have a bias towards YouTube. It's just because I watch these platforms every single day. You can, and if you don't believe me, go over to Alexa, type in those platforms, see where they're all ranked in Alexa. Go over to Google Trends, type in all these platforms in Google Trends, see what's trending the most. See who ranks on the scale of popularity. And what you'll find is from old people to young people, so many people use YouTube as a way to watch television now. So it's not the same sport. You see what I'm saying? You know, like Twitch, that's like your high school basketball team. Like YouTube is like the NBA. Like that's what I'm saying. There's a big difference. I'm not saying you can't make money on Twitch, because you can. But I'm saying as far as like how many people are on the platform, there's a huge difference between like Twitch and Snapchat and Instagram and YouTube. There's a huge difference. There's also a difference in like how people react to those platforms and what they're doing on those platforms. But, you know, I'm not even going to get into all that right now, but I'm just saying there's a big difference. YouTube is the new television, right? So there's a big difference. But like, should you start a YouTube channel in 2018? Dude, why not? Why not? But I don't think you should start a YouTube channel unless you have something that's driving you to do so. Like, unless you have a real vision for what the channel is going to be, and you have a passion for it, and you have a way that it makes sense for you financially. You know what I mean? And I think those are the two key ingredients, you know? And I think that's the way it was in 2016. I think that's the way it was in 2014. But it's just harder now. And that's just the way it is. You know, in 2000, I think 15. I'm gonna read you guys' comments in a second too. In 2015, I came out with a course called Easy YouTube Money Method 2.0. And in that course, I gave people a small task to do every single day. And by the end of that 30 days, they would have been making money on YouTube, right? That's how easy it was to start producing money on YouTube in 2015. That course makes no sense in 2018. It just doesn't. You're not going to make money in 30 days on YouTube in 2018 unless you have an email list, or unless you have some kind of alternate way to, you know, monetize it. So it's different. The climate's different. That being said, man, YouTube's the new television, and YouTube will let you start a channel for free. That's a free television show. So now the question is, are you clever enough to start a new television show and use it to promote your brand, use it to grow your business, what do you have to say? You know what I mean? What do you have to say that's interesting? Because that's how you grow that's how you grow a YouTube channel in 2018. It's not by dominating a small space anymore. It's by being interesting. It's by having something to say that people give a crap about, by having a take, having an opinion. It's by getting people to react to your videos, to give a crap about what you have to say, and to hang out there for a while and watch. That's what it's about in 2018. And yes, that is more tricky than just dominating a small space. And yes, that can be more intimidating. So I would say, yes, it's harder, but it really changes nothing. It's still the place to be. I mean, it's still an amazing opportunity. Yeah, that's what I'd say about that. Ryan Puckett says, I'm with you, Cam. I hope this comes back and bites YouTube in the backside. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Randy Hall says, it seems like the trick is to have a multiple marketing venues and not just use one way, be it Facebook, YouTube, blog. That's a good point, Randy. You know, I think using multiple marketing venues is a good idea. And I'll tell you why, man. Not because of what people would think, not because, oh, hey, don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's not the reason why I think people should be using multiple marketing venues. It's not about not putting your eggs in one basket. What it's about is how your audience perceives these platforms. People go to Facebook for a certain kind of thing, for social interaction. People go to YouTube to watch, to learn, and to be entertained. That's different. Okay. On Facebook, it is very easy to build an audience. You know, within 30 days, you can build a fairly good sized audience. If you're pulling from Facebook groups, you know, you're hanging out in the Facebook groups daily, you're friend requesting people who are reacting positively to things you post, and then you're posting and engaging with other people's content, you can build a pretty good friend list on Facebook within 30 days. And then what you do with a combo on that is you do simple Facebook live streams every day. Every day, do a Facebook live stream. So as you're adding new friends who care about the same subject you care about, they're starting to get notified of your Facebook live streams. Okay, so you're building audience in that way on Facebook, and it happens really quickly on Facebook. So what you do is you can use that little system to push people over to your YouTube channel, okay? Because YouTube's more of a long game, and it's harder to grow on YouTube. So that's an example of how you can use two different marketing venues in combination with each other, and like taking advantage of the fact that people react differently on both of those platforms. On Facebook, it's very timeline based. It's very now based. Like, what just happened? What just dropped today? You know, if I do a Facebook live stream, it matters today. It won't matter next week. It's not going to matter next week. On YouTube, if I drop a video, it'll still matter next week. So it's like they're different. Same with Instagram. Instagram is different than Facebook. You know, Snapchat kind of feels like it's dying off a little bit, but still a lot of people hang out on Snapchat. Twitch feels like Twitch is kind of catching on quite a bit. I think Twitch is still perceived. I was actually talking to my wife about this earlier today. I think Twitch is still perceived as a video game place. Like, if you're not into video games, you're probably not going to be that attracted to Twitch. My wife was telling me that, you know, Twitch is more than just video games now. There's people doing other stuff besides video games on there. But like, I totally believe her and I respect it, but I believe that the perception with Twitch is it's a video game thing. It's about streaming video game stuff, you know, so that's the perception. And I think that kind of holds it back a little bit. But anyways, that's what I think about that. But when Randy's saying use multiple marketing venues, I think you use the multiple marketing venues because you play to their strengths, the way people react to them. When people do go to Twitch, and correct me if I speak out of turn here, guys, because I'm not a Twitch guy. I'm not that familiar with Twitch, but the way I understand it, when people do go to Twitch, they go there to watch live streaming. It's all about watching live streaming. And most of the time it's about watching people play video games live streaming. So the person who goes somewhere to watch a live stream for a couple of hours, is in a different mind space than the person who jumps on YouTube to figure out, you know, the best way to get his dog to stop peeing on the carpet. Like, and he wants a 7-minute video, right? It's a different mind space. So you kind of like utilize the different mind spaces people are in on each platform to your advantage. You know what I mean? And you can combine them together. Like combining Facebook and YouTube together is fire. It's fire, man. It's absolute fire to do that. So anyways, that's what I'd say about that. So anyways, yeah, man, to answer the question, should you start a YouTube channel in 2018? Look, the vice that I explained to you guys, the 3-way vice with the celebrities and the top level suppression and the bottom level monetization cuts, it's a vice, but it's a transitional period for YouTube. They're embracing their new role as television. So to me, I mean, dude, it's as relevant as ever. I mean, why wouldn't you start a YouTube channel? It's a free television show. You know, I mean, in the future, I wouldn't be surprised if it costs $25 to start a YouTube channel. You have to pay $25 just to be eligible to start a YouTube channel. Why not? Why wouldn't they do that? You know, it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. They'll probably look at it as a way to get more quality content on their platform because they figure people won't, you know, just randomly get YouTube channels if they have to pay to do it. You know what I mean? They look at it as like, they probably look at it like quality control. So that wouldn't surprise me a bit to see that. Anyways, before I get off here, I do want to talk to you guys about, you know, this daily vlog, and what I had planned for it. So when I started this daily vlog, you guys, I had a short-term goal of 1 month. I had a long-term goal of 1 year. Now I'm at 84 days now. I surpassed my 30-day goal, which is great. I plan to take this thing to 365 days. All right. I want to vlog for a year. I want to see, I want to test various strategies to build audience. I want to watch my analytics closely. I want to do videos on my analytics. My next analytic video is going to be on day 100, you guys. I did one on day 30. I did one on day 60. And I'm going to do another one on day 100. And we're just kind of watching the watch time on this channel grow. We're watching the analytics grow. And we're kind of watching how this channel reacts. It's basically an online case study, guys. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel and make sure you're checking in. And you can see how someone grows a real live YouTube channel over the course of a year, publishing content every single day. And I publish content on whatever the heck I feel like. I'll do a book review. I'll do a movie review. I'll talk about marketing. I'll talk about YouTube. I'll talk about whatever the heck I want to talk about. So if you want to know how it is to grow a YouTube channel where someone just talks about whatever they want to talk about, and they don't use high quality videos, they just use very grassroots, lo-fi type videos, and you want to see a place where they share their analytics with you and stuff, this is the spot for you. So make sure you're subscribed. I want to give away. I want to do giveaways. I'm going to give away something on this channel every 1,000 subscribers. And then what I'm going to do is when I hit 500 subscribers on this channel, when I hit 500 subscribers, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a Patreon account, and I'm going to do giveaway in the Patreon account. And the Patreon account is going to charge $1 a month. And if you're a member of that Patreon account, if you're a member of my little Patreon community, you're going to be eligible for the giveaway, for the Patreon giveaway. Just for supporting the vlog monetarily. So that's the plan right now. That's the plan. At 500 subscribers, I'll start the Patreon account for this channel, and I'll do it a giveaway inside the Patreon account for everybody who's a member of the Patreon account. So that means there's only 5 people in the Patreon account. You got a pretty good chance of winning. So you figure if I give away a $200 iPod or a $200 Chromebook or something like that, and you're a member of the Patreon account at $1 a month, I mean, you'd have to be a member for 200 months before that didn't make sense for you anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty hard not to find value in that. So that's a pretty good little situation. And that's what I'm all about, guys. That's what I find to work really good for me with marketing. I like everybody to win. I don't like to put offers and things in front of people where they don't get a win. I want the customers to win. I want my audience to win. I want to win myself, and any kind of affiliates I have, I want them to win too. So those are some of the things I want to do in 2018 with this vlog. When I get to my 1 year, you might think, okay, well, what's the point after you get to the year? Well, here's the point. When I get to the 1 year mark on this vlog, I'm going to write a book about daily vlogging for a year. Okay, that's what I want to do. It'll either be a video course or it'll be a book. I'm just going to write a book about my experience vlogging for a year. I want it to be jam-packed full of tips, tricks, strategies, tactics for other people who want to grow a channel like this. I just want to help people, and that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I plan to do from the beginning. I don't want you to think that, I came into this willy-nilly, you guys, because I don't want you to get that impression, because I don't want you to do that. If you want to start a YouTube channel, I mean, I want you to understand, you see me do these videos every day about this random stuff, but I want you to understand from the beginning, I had a plan. I mean, it's like chess, guys. Like, I'm playing chess. So I just implore you guys, man, if you want to do anything online, make sure you're playing chess. Don't play checkers. Play chess, because, we only got so much time. You know what I mean? Who knows, dude? I could wake up tomorrow and go get hit by a truck or something. You know what I mean? So, I mean, take care of your time. That's what I'm saying, basically, you guys. Take care of your time. Your time matters. The time you spend with your family, the time you spend helping other people, whether it's on the internet or in real life, the work you do, the job you have. Don't do things you don't want to do, man. I mean, I know everybody feels like they're trapped. They're in a corner. They got to work at this job. They just do it to get by. Dude, I'm telling you, life is too short for that. And I speak as someone who worked at jobs I didn't like for many, many years. The idea that you have to work at a job you don't like is an illusion. It's a complete illusion. What can I tell you? I've been the guy who worked 2 different jobs. I remember being so tired. I remember going to one job. Man, I had a job unloading trucks. When I first got out of the Navy, this is back in when was this? This is the year 2000. Got out of the Navy, moved to Rhode Island with my new wife, and was really burnt out on medical stuff, because I was a corpsman. I was like a medic in the Navy, and sorry, Ryan says he enjoys my daily vlogs. They're funny, informative. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that, man. So I got out of the Navy in 2000. I moved to Rhode Island with my, at the time, new wife. She's my ex-wife now, but I got a job unloading trucks at Target. They paid me like $12 an hour. It was getting on to Christmas time, and then I decided I was gonna get me another job. So I was going into Target at 11 o'clock at night and working all throughout the night. Got me another job working in the evenings. So working in the evenings at this magazine stand. So now I was selling magazines in the evening and the PM hours, and then I was working through the night at Target. And when I did that, I had no time to do anything, guys, but like work, eat, and sleep. And that's it. That's all I did. My life was a blur. I remember watching a couple TV shows here and there, and that's it. Now I've been that guy, okay? And then I've been the guy who, like, when he needs to make an extra $1,000, he just fires off a couple emails. Like, I've been that guy too. So, like, what I'm telling you is, like, it's all an illusion. Like, you can make that couple extra $1,000 however you want to make it. Like you define what your life is going to look like. I mean, if you perceive that the only way you can make extra money is by getting a second job, then your brain is going to make sure that's the only way you can make extra money. I mean, if you perceive that you cannot quit your crappy job that you hate because you need the money. And even though you don't like your job, it pays the bills. If you perceive that to be the case, that is the case. Like, you have no idea how powerful like your thought process is and how it affects your daily life. I mean, you know, I can't, you know, I can't stress that enough. I mean, do you understand how easy it is to start a membership program? Like, it is so easy to start a membership program and start putting people on an email list and saying, oh, hey, by the way, if you like the content I'm sending you by email, check out my membership program. I offer even more cool information about this subject in there. And like, some of those people are going to join, right? I'm like, that's really easy. That's a matter of starting 2 email lists. One's a paid, one's a free. You know, get people to join your free email list and just transitionally move them over to your paid email list by sending them an offer. Like that's not very hard. Like, that's not, you don't even have to be a good marketer to do that. You know, I mean, you really don't. So I don't know, man. It's really crazy. The perceptions that hold us down, you know, like, and I guys, right now when I'm talking to you about this stuff, this is my passion. Like, this is why I'm here. Like, I want to help people rise up. I want to help people who are in places in life they don't want to be rise up and become independent, become empowered, work for themselves. That's what I'm here for. Like, I could easily work out of other spaces, but I'm in the make money online space because I feel like I can help a lot of people in that space. Like, just better their lives. You know what I mean? Because I remember, like, in 2008, my girlfriend at the time, she was pregnant with my soon-to-be son. And, you know, I was in a rock band at the time, you know, and I didn't care about anything but playing music. I mean, I was like, you know, playing music, and, you know, I worked 3 days a week, 12-hour shifts. And then when I wasn't working, man, I was playing rock and roll all the time. I was always out playing music, and I didn't care about anything for a long time except playing rock and roll. That's all I cared about. And when my girlfriend gave birth to my son, you know, I kind of like had a wake-up call, and I just kind of felt like I needed to change my life as far as, like, I needed to worry a little bit more about money. You know, I needed to think about money a little bit more, and it just needed to be a bigger part of my life. So then I kind of rediscovered this passion I had for business, because I always kind of had this passion for business, but for some reason I didn't connect the dots. You know what I mean? I remember being a kid, you know, buying and selling baseball cards, you know, and turning a profit. And, like, I was interested in making money. I remember getting into comic books as a kid. I remember riding my bike like 2 miles down to the comic book store, buying comic books, buying all the #1 issues for the month. And I had this kind of thing figured out where I could buy so many #1 issues for the month. Then I could turn around and sell them next month. The ones that hit and they went up in value, I could turn around and sell them. I was doing those things when I was a kid, but I didn't have anyone to push me in my life. You know, my dad was a construction worker. My mother was a nurse's aide, you know, and both of my parents worked. I had no one to, like, push me at anything or help me discover that. You know, I'm not blaming them. I love my mother and my father. God rest my dad's soul. But, you know, they just weren't business people. And, you know, it took me a long time to connect those dots that I actually had a passion for business. So anyways, when my son was born, I kind of started reconnecting with that and realized it was just my back was against the wall, you know? But that was 2008. And do you realize that in 2008, when that happened and I started feeling like I need to make money, you know what I did? I didn't do anything in 2008. I kept on working on my job, you guys. You know, and you know why I kept on working there? Because even though I felt like I hated that job, I felt like, hey, it makes money. It pays the bills, man. I got a kid now. I can't afford to be messing around doing some stupid stuff. I can't be taking risks like that. I got a family to support, you know? I gotta be cool, man. I gotta take care of my stuff, you know? I felt like it was my duty to work at a job I didn't like because I had a family to support. So that's what I did for a couple more years. I remember my wife wanted me to stop working the night shift. She wasn't my wife at the time. She was my girlfriend. She wanted me to stop working the night shift. I didn't do it. You know why? Because I felt like, man, I'm on the night shift. I've been on the night shift for like 7 years. You know what? I don't want to go day shift. Day shift's not for me. You know what I mean? You call that whatever you want. Call it selfish. Call it, stubborn. Call it whatever you want. But I think what it boils down to was just I didn't like change. And I had been on the night shift for a while. So I kind of hold on to things I'm used to. I'm used to that. So I just held on to it. I hated my job, but I was used to it. It was comfortable. Oh, I don't want to quit my job. I'm used to it. It's making money. Oh, I don't want to go to day shift. That's too much of a change. I have to change all the people I work with and everything changes. I don't want to do that. I want to stay right where I'm at, Flash forward a couple years later, I got sick, got real sick, man. And I ended up getting fired from my job, and that was my wake-up call. So 2 years after my son was born, and I knew I kind of had this rediscovery that I wanted to do business. I kind of had a love for business, but it took 2 years after that for me to actually do anything. And I had to be pushed out the door. I had to get sick. I had to get sick and be fired from my job and sit down at my table like, man, what the hell am I going to do now? This was in October of 2010. And guess what? My son was born in October. The same month my son was born, right before his birthday. I lost my job. I had to sit down at the table and figure out what I was going to do to support my family. And like everything on my mind was telling me to go get another job doing what I know how to do because I got to make money for my family. But I took a shot. I said, no, forget it. I know what's down that road. And I know where that goes. It goes to another job where I'm unhappy. Let me tell you guys something about being unhappy. Like if you're at a job where you're unhappy, like the unhappiness will filter over into all aspects of your life. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not this year. But after years and years and years of grinding at a job you don't like, eventually that will flood over into all aspects of your life. And it will take over. So, anyways, so what happened was, I went back to school, man. I said, screw it. I'm going to go back to school for business. I'm going to learn how to do business. And that's what I did in 2010. And I didn't have it all figured out, you guys. I didn't know where the money was going to come from. I didn't know what was going to happen. I figured like this. I figured, you know what? Everybody in my family is going to judge me. All my friends are going to judge me. I'm going to ask my wife to stand by me because I got a vision for what I want to do. And I think that's important. Walk with confidence. Have a vision for what you want to do. I sat down at the table and I planned out a vision for what I wanted to do. And I told my wife, I said, look, I'm not getting another job at a hospital. I'm not getting a job in the medical field. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my stand right here with business and I'm going to make it work. All right. So have a little faith in me. I'm going to make this work. And you know what? I think just me being able to walk with confidence and take that stand for myself and believe in myself, it goes a long way. If you stand up for yourself and you have confidence in yourself, other people will follow you and they'll believe in what you have to say. But if you're all wishy-washy, and you don't know, and man, I don't know what I'm going to do, and well, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. If you're like that, people don't follow someone like that. Your wife's not going to follow you if you're like that. Your friends aren't going to follow you like that. Nobody's going to believe you, man. So you got to be confident with what you want to do. But that being said, it can't be bullshit. Oh man, I didn't mean to cuss on this channel. I'm trying not to cuss on this channel. It can't be bull crap. All right. I mean, you really got to believe in yourself. You can't just talk it. You can't just say it. I mean, you really got to believe it. And then you got to walk the walk. You just make it happen. So I'm so glad that happened to me in 2010. I'm so glad that company fired me. I'm so glad the way things went the way they went. I don't know if it was meant to be or whatever. I really couldn't tell you, man. But I'm glad things worked out the way they went in hindsight. Because I'll tell you guys something. If my company wouldn't have fired me and if I wouldn't have got sick, you know what? We wouldn't be having this conversation. I'd probably still be working at that same dumb job, doing the same dumb stuff, complaining about my job like all the other fools complaining about their jobs. It's dumb, man. It's dumb. Reserve says, when a launch generates $10,000 on Warrior Plus, I understand that revenue is generated, but what's the ballpark for profit for the product creator? Reserve, that completely depends on your funnel. That completely depends on your funnel. That completely depends on the commission rates you have set for your affiliates, right? Who generated that $10,000? Did you generate it from selling stuff, or did a bunch of affiliates send a lot of traffic your way and it was generated from the affiliates? So if it was generated from the affiliates, then the next question is, how much commission are you paying your affiliates? Because what that is it's advertising expense. You see what I'm saying? Advertising expense. You know, if you're doing most of the selling, you can make most of that $10,000. If your funnel's set up to pay your affiliates about half, then you're going to make about $5,000. You know, it depends on what you're paying your advertise. It depends on what you're paying your affiliates. That's what it depends on, Reserve. So, well, and then you got to understand, Reserve, when you say a launch generates $10,000 on Warrior Plus, what you have to understand is, okay, if we're talking about a $10,000 launch on Warrior Plus, we're talking about a 5-figure launch. So what that means is I probably just put 800 to 1,000 people on my email list, and they're all buyers. Okay, they're all buyers. So what that means is that $10,000 is not the end. Over the course of the next 3 months, I'll probably make another $10,000 off of those emails. Okay, so that's what you have to remember. Like if we have 1,000 people that we put on our email list on a $10,000 launch, even if I give 100% commission through the entire funnel and I don't make any money on that launch, guess what? All I have to do is sell 10 $1,000 coaching packages, and I make that whole 10,000 up myself. I make the whole 10,000 bucks back just like that in less than a week, selling 10 coaching packages at $1,000. Okay. So, you know, a $10,000 launch, then you got to ask yourself, you know, so I guess what I'm trying to say, Reserved, is it's really about those emails. It's not necessarily about the launch. The launch is, it's nice when you can make some money on the launch, and it looks cool. It looks really cool. Like the market sees that launch and they see how well it does. And you know what it does? It boosts your authority and it boosts your status. But the fact is, if I put 1,000 people on an email list and they all bought something from me, these are people who care about my niche. These are people who are familiar with me. They bought my products. I've already taught them things. It's not very hard for me to put 10 of them in a coaching program at $1,000. That's not very difficult. So that's what I'd say about that. So there's more to it. There's the back end, right? And then I'll add to that too, because it's not just your coaching packages. The coaching packages are very profitable. Like my current coaching package is $19.97. So it's not even $1,000. I was just using that as an arbitrary figure. It's $2,000. But shoot, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. It's getting late. I gotta get off here. But okay, so what I'm not including with the back end is premium courses. Premium courses. I'm talking about courses that are like, they could be $1,000 themselves. I'm talking about a course that could be $997 for the course. You know, these are premium courses. $497 for a course, $997 for a course. You can take it on sale down to $197. You can take it on sale down to $97 if you really want to. You know, so I ran a 4-day sale on a premium course right before I retired it a couple weeks ago. And you know, it was like I took it down to I took it down to $97. Sold 17 of them within 4 days. You know, I think it's 17 or 18 of them within 4 days. So, you know, it wasn't very difficult. So when we talk about selling like a $7 to $10 product, and we talk about, generating a 5-figure launch, $10,000 on Warrior Plus, like what you'll make initially off that launch is going to be dependent on how much you pay for advertising expense, with how much are you paying your affiliates. And, so that's what I say to that. And then Reserve ask, what's the most expensive price point you would put in a funnel? I've seen some people put $2,000 products in Warrior Plus funnel. Here's the problem with putting those $2,000 products in a Warrior Plus funnel. Okay. So you got to ask yourself what you're paying your affiliates. Everything in that funnel, you're going to pay your affiliates something. Most people pay their, people like affiliate. Now you can take it down for a $2,000 product. You can say, well, I'm only going to pay affiliates 10% of that or something like that. Or you could say, well, I'll pay my affiliates 25% of this $2,000 product. But the thing is, I like to go 50% through the funnel for affiliates. And, sometimes I'll go 60% through the funnel for affiliates. So if I put a $2,000 coaching package or some kind of $2,000 package in the funnel, then, I hate to like drop that down for the affiliates to something less than 50%. But the problem is, here, I'll be honest with you, I don't want to pay affiliates 50% of a $2,000 package. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that. That's just how it is, especially on a coaching package, because I know how much time and effort that I have to put into coaching those students, coaching them up and making them profitable. I know what kind of effort I have to put into one-on-one coaching or even a small group coaching to coaching those people up and getting them profitable. And I'm not going to pay 50% of that to affiliates for advertising. I don't think so. It's just not going to happen. So I don't put $2,000 courses in coaching and funnels on Warrior Plus, because Warrior Plus is, look, Warrior Plus, I think Warrior Plus takes 2%. I think it's 2.9. I don't know. It's like 3% Warrior Plus takes. I think it's like 3%. I forget the exact amount Warrior Plus takes per transaction. Warrior Plus takes a small fee per transaction, 3%. But I mean, dude, I'm not paying you $50 on my $2,000. It's late for me to be doing math, but 3% is actually a pretty decent amount on $2,000. I'm not paying you $30 to $50. Oh my God. Let me just figure out what it is. Just give me a second, guys. And I saw your question reserved about launching every week. I'll talk to you about it in a second. 2,000 times 0.3. It's $60, dude. I'm not paying Warrior Plus $60 for my $2,000 coaching package that I'm running through Warrior Plus. That is nonsense. I can run the funnel on the launch, and then I can offer my coaching package to all those new buyers via email, and I'll send them a direct PayPal invoice. I'll save myself $60. There's no reason to give Warrior Plus that $60. That's dumb. This is dumb. And then the other thing about it is, when you talk about a $2,000 coaching package or a $1,000 coaching package or whatever, these are new buyers. Okay, they're just getting introduced to you. Like the relationship is brand new. It's like walking into a bar, seeing some cute girl over there, and walking up to her and asking her to get married. It's nonsense. It's not going to work most of the time. It just doesn't make a lot of sense, So to me, like, if I go like 6 products deep in a funnel, like if I go like a front end product and then 6 products through the funnel, like my highest price product is going to be like $197. like on OTO3, it'll be 197, right? And that will be like for like a master class, like maybe a 3-day like master class where I teach them live basically the same stuff that's in the front end product, but the difference is the access has changed. Now I'm teaching what's in the front end product, but I'm live. Like we are interacting with each other. You can ask me questions. So that's the difference. And that'll be 197. That's the highest I'll go on my funnel. So that works good for me. So Reserve says, this might be naive of me, but why don't you launch every week? Okay, why don't I launch every week? Well, there's a few reasons I don't launch every week. One reason is to do a proper product launch. There's a few moving parts to a proper product launch. To do a product launch the right way, there's a few things that need to happen. And for you to do all those things right and to launch every single week, you need a team. You can't do it yourself. It's not a one-person job to launch every single week the right way. Okay. Also, there's a couple other things that go into that, but that's the big reason. I don't have a team of people. When I launch, I solo launch. I don't partner up with anybody. Usually I do my own copy. I do my own everything, right? I would say that's not necessarily the best way to do it. I think it's the best way to do it when you're first getting started because you need to learn the business. But like at my point in the game, I should be hiring other people to do some things for me. There's no doubt about that. I'm kind of like a control freak when it comes to things. Like I get this weird, like thing where I feel like if I want everything done right, I got to do it myself, So like sometimes I'll just feel like if I hire someone to do something for me, like I'm going to spend just as much time correcting it and getting them to do it right. Why not just do it myself? It'll be less, and I know that's like a flawed way of thinking, but that's just kind of like how I feel about it right now. So, but I know that's not right. And I'm trying to transition out of that. But yeah, to launch the answer your question, to launch every week, it requires a great deal of energy. If you want to launch right, because you got to understand the launch cycle. Okay. If you're launching every week, let's go through this. Number one, okay, you need a product, right? It needs to be a good product. All right. So who's creating the product? Where's the idea coming from? Is it a PLR product? If it's a PLR product, what makes it unique to the market? Has it been launched before? Has everybody already seen it? What if half your market's already bought it as a PLR product? Now you're launching it as a new thing, but it's the same thing. It doesn't work that way. I mean, it's got to have some kind of new thing to it. So you need a product, right? And it needs to have something to it that makes sense, that matters to people. So that's one thing. All right. Now to launch every week, you need somebody that's their only job is to go out there and come up with new concepts and ideas for products. That's it. That's their only job. Because after you get a product together, now the product has to be created. Once you got concept, you got a proof of concept. Now you got to create the product, right? Now, okay, let's think about this for a second. Let's make it really easy. Let's say for a product, you're going to write 50 emails. Okay. I'm just going to write 50 marketing emails a week. That's what I'm going to do. And every week I'm going to sell a new PLR package of these 50 originally written emails by me. Okay, cool. So how long are you going to spend writing these emails? Or are you just going to you could hire someone else to write them, but the product's got to come together. Now, once the product comes together, now you need the packaging to come together. Once the product's created, now you're going to move into packaging, right? And packaging includes the actual sales letter for the thing. And the sales letter and the sales page, that you need to spend just as much time on that as you spent on the actual product itself, okay? You spent time making sure the product was good. You need to spend time making sure the sales page is good as well. Because if it's not good, it's not going to convert. All right, so it's got to be good. So you need to spend time on that. If you're going to launch every week, you know, I'll spend a day or two just on the sales letter. So, you know, I might spend a week putting a product together. I'll spend a day or two just on the sales letter itself. So essentially, you're going to need a person in place to create the product. You're going to need a person in place to do the packaging, which is the sales letter, and also any kind of like banners, any kind of buzz that's going to go out there to Facebook, social media, YouTube, anything that's going to go out there to create hype for your product, right? Someone needs to be in charge of that stuff, right? So you're moving through a phase when it comes to launching a product. You know, you research and development first. You're researching so you minimize your risk. You're figuring out what the market cares about, and do you have 2 cents to add to that space, right? So you go through that. You go through your product creation. Then you go through your packaging. You got to get the sales letter together. You got to create marketing materials for the platforms where you have a presence on. And then we talk about releasing, and we're moving into the releasing phase, create, package, release. When you move into the release phase, now what you're doing is you're going out there and you're building hype for your launch. You're building hype with prospects. You're also building, if you're running affiliate traffic, you're building hype with affiliates, influencer traffic, people who have influence in the market who you might be able to get to promote your stuff. So you're building hype with 2 different groups of people. So you're running 2 different campaigns to get ready for your launch. You're running a campaign with, you know, potential customers, but you're also running another campaign with potential affiliates. If you're not running affiliate traffic, if you're running paid traffic, then that campaign is going, you know, it's going to like a Facebook thing, you know, or it's going to like a Google thing, but you're still running the campaign. You know what I mean? You know, if you're running paid traffic, then what you're doing is, you know, you're running traffic to like some kind of freebie thing, like a freebie webinar or whatever that would you know, convert them to your way of thinking, because it's colder traffic. When you're running paid traffic, you're running colder. It's not as warm as influencer traffic. Traffic's colder. So what happens is you're running them to like a webinar or something. But the thing about that is it's not worth it for a low ticket product. You know what I'm saying? It's not really worth it to, it's not really worth it to run paid traffic and cold traffic to a low ticket offer. It doesn't make a lot of sense, you know? So anyway, it's kind of a complicated subject. It's probably not something I can, you know, it's not really something I can adequately answer for you on this live stream. But to quickly answer your question, you don't launch every week because you need a team in place to do so. There's a few moving parts to a proper product launch. That's the basic answer to that. You know, I can launch about once a month. I got my system down to where I can launch once a month, and I do launch once a month, but sometimes I just launch to my insiders club. I just launch to inside my membership program. That's much easier. It's not like all I have to do is create the product. You know, I can create a great product and just launch it to my membership program. Actually, my last product I just created was social proof tactics. I just launched that to my membership program. I didn't launch it to the public. I mean, I'm going to release it to the public. I'm going to put it out there for the public, but I'm not going to legit launch it to the public. I actually just finished my 2nd sales letter today for social proof tactics. I got 1 sales letter, then a backup sales letter. Guys, I recommend if you're going to sell products, run with 2 sales letters. Run with two versions of your sales page. I call it a spare tire. You don't have to split test them if you don't want to. Run with the one you like the best, but monitor your conversions on that first day. When you launch it, watch those conversion rates. You know, if you're under 10% the first 3 or 4 hours, you might switch it out and try your other sales letter and see if you get better conversions. The name of the game is boosting those conversions up to over 10%. Reserve asks if I do long form sales letters. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not a fan of long form sales letters, to be honest, Reserve. I just wrote a sales letter, and I'll tell you how long it is. Let me just, I haven't counted it. I'll give you a word count on it. I think, well, I don't know if I got it pulled up, but let me just see. I'm not a super big fan of long form sales letters, but the thing is, it doesn't necessarily matter what you like as much as it matters what your audience likes, what your prospects like. With copy, it's kind of a funny thing. You know, you always think that you know best, but really you'll be surprised at how much you don't know. Just see if well, yeah, I don't have, I think it's about 1,000 words. It might be a little more than 1,000 words. It's not more than 2,000 words. The sales letter I just wrote for this new one is not more than 2,000 words. It's between 1,000 and 2,000 words. So it's not like crazy long. Honestly, you know, reserved, I'll be honest with you. And you know, Randy knows this. Randy, I don't know if Randy's still here or not, but he knows this. But most of my sales pages, they don't have any copy on them. They're a video. Most of my sales pages are just a video reserved. There's like a video, there's a buy button, and then there's like a Facebook comment box where people can leave feedback. You know, and I'd like at least 10 or 15 pieces of feedback on that comment box before I launch. And that's a pretty good combination. That's a good combination for me. But the sales video usually will run between 10 and 20 minutes. 10 and 20 minutes. I think 12 minutes is a sweet spot. If you can get your sales video, if you can do a really good job on your sales video and like connect the dots with that VSL, and you can hit it at like between 12 and 15 minutes, that's pretty good. Like written copy, like I'm better at VSLs. I usually do VSLs, like video sales letters. Written copy, like an actual legit sales letter, I'm doing that for this new one, social proof tactics. But I think I'm a little bit stronger with VSLs than I am at written copy. That's my feeling on it. But I think long form sales letters work. I mean, if that's what you mean reserved, I think they work. I think the main reason I don't do them is just because I don't feel like super confident doing them. And I kind of don't like them personally. I feel like it's repetitive. As you're writing it, you just feel like, oh man, this is so repetitive. This is just like, it's nonsense. I mean, it just feels so gimmicky as you're writing it. If you're following a template and you're trying to write it, it just feels like, man, it just feels so gimmicky. But like, I tell you what, whenever I don't follow a template, whenever I don't like follow some kind of generic template and work around that, and I don't pay attention to the rules of the copywriting game, like I will feel like I'm writing masterpieces, and like my conversions will suck. And that's it, point blank. Whenever I go off the script, I ignore all copywriting rules and I ignore everything, and I just go straight off from my gut and just go, like, the conversions will not be as good. That's just the way it is. So other than me, who I think is worth learning from on Warrior Plus, I think a lot of people are worth learning from. You know, I think, you know, there's a lot of good information out there on Warrior Plus. I mean, look, most people who can make it to the top 10 on Warrior Plus, they have done something to get to the top 10. Okay. Like you don't make it to the top 10 on Warrior Plus on that daily top 10. You don't make it to the top 10 without having some kind of influence. You know, I'm not saying the product's good. But I'm saying you don't make it to the top 10 without doing something right. Right. So all those people who are making it to the top 10, they have done something right to get there. Their sales page has looked a certain way. They have either figured out how to drive traffic themselves with their email lists, or they have recruited affiliates in the right way to get other people to drive traffic for them. They've done something right to get there. So I'm not saying that means their product's going to be good, but I'm saying they know what they're doing, at least somewhat, to get on the top 10. You don't get on the top 10 by being a fool and not knowing anything that you're doing. So that's what I'd say about that. Sometimes people, I don't know. That's what I'd say about that. I mean, look, and on top of that, I have usually, when I bought products, usually I always pull 1 or 2 golden nuggets out of every product I've ever bought. I haven't bought a lot of products that just absolutely sucked, and I've spent thousands of dollars on products, that have taught me lots of things. And guys, I've interviewed lots of other people in the internet marketing space, and I haven't talked to any marketers who are successful at doing what we do, who haven't spent thousands on products, buying things to learn more things, just kind of constantly working on their education and stuff. I consider it college. I mean, I consider it going to college, and you never stop learning. But at the same time, don't get me wrong on that. At the same time, it's like learning is like when I learn, you guys, it's a very compartmentalized activity for me. Like, I don't just randomly buy products on Warrior Plus or randomly buy products on JVZoo. I don't just randomly check my email every day and find emails that, wow, this looks pretty sweet, and then go visit the sales page and buy something. I don't do that, man. The buying that I do, it's compartmentalized, right? I say, okay, I got 2 days a week dedicated to education. You know what I mean? And on these days, I'm going to educate, or whatever. And the rest of the week is productivity. It's about moving my business forward. I love education, you guys, but education doesn't move your business forward. Education is you do that on your own time. You don't do it on your business's time. My job as the owner of Epic Conversions is to make Epic Conversions as profitable as possible, right? I need to make sure that not me, it's not about me. It's not I don't need to make sure that I can afford my autoresponder every month, or I can afford this, or I can afford that. I need to make sure I know I can afford it. I need to make sure my business can afford it. Can my business afford these things? And I don't think enough people ask that, People will open up their emails and they'll see ooh, easy video creator. What's this, man? This is the new software. I'm going to buy it. Okay, well, take a step back for a second. What's the name of your business? Does your business need that? Is that going to matter for your business? And then does it matter for your business? Can your business support that purchase? That's the question. Just because you can support the purchase, can your business support the purchase? Because if your business is not profitable right now, and guys, I got a couple of coaching students who are in this position, and the first thing we did was cut off the buying. Cut off the buying. If your business is leaking money like a sieve, you got to cut off the buying. That's the first thing. Right? We got to get the business profitable. That's the first step, man. The fact is, you don't need a lot of these tools, right? Man, I'll tell you guys something. I can teach you how to launch a product that makes money without even having a website. You don't even need a website. I'll show you how to do the whole freaking funnel with nothing but free tools. And you can make money with that. Now, once you make money with that, I say, hey, let's invest back in the business a little bit. But what I'm talking about is the idea of people having autoresponders, having ClickFunnels. Man, people who are having ClickFunnels for 2 years at $99 a month, their business has never made a dime. That money's coming right out of pocket. So if we take 2 years of ClickFunnels at $99 a month, man, you're talking about $3,000. That's $3,000 down the drain. Your business is $3,000 in the hole after 2 years of not making any money. Just blowing money on ClickFunnels for no good reason. It makes no sense. So, I mean, I would say the first thing is let's get the business profitable. So when it comes to education, I mean, I would sit down, figure out a path for your business. What is the business? What are you trying to accomplish? And then what are the steps you need to accomplish to get there? So if you're going to invest in education, invest in specific educational strategies to accomplish those goals. As far as like who to buy those things from, I mean, there's a lot of good like if you go to Warrior Plus, look at the people who are consistently up making the top 10. Some of those top creators, people who you're seeing them consistently. Every time they launch, they're putting hits in the top 10. You don't get to do that over and over and over again unless you're putting out good stuff. Okay, so I would say go to some people like that. I don't want to name any names though, reserved, because I just don't. I don't want to name any names. So I don't want to name names and then forget somebody, and then they watch this video and they're like, oh, why, you didn't say me, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to do that, but I would say just go. It's very easy, you know, just go there and look over today's top 10, the last 7-day top 10, the last 30-day top 10. Look at who's got the most deal of the days. You know, look who's doing well on the platform consistently. Those are good people to learn from. Then what you want to do is not necessarily buy a product off of them. You can buy a product off of them, but what you want to do is you want to try to connect with some of these people on Facebook. And like, you might friend request them on Facebook and they ignore you, but what you want to do, that's okay. You want to start running in the same circles they run in. You want to kind of start being a part of that same scene that they're in, right? And you want to kind of start networking with these people who are sustainably and consistently doing good things on the platform. And that's how you kind of, you know, learn from people. So, but yeah, buying the products isn't bad. The problem with buying products all the time is, you know, sometimes, especially on Warrior Plus, there's a lot of systems, and systems are great. But they're publishing systems because they make money, you know. But, you know, a lot of times people need to learn specifics, you know, not necessarily like entire systems. Like the newest product I put out is called Social Proof Tactics. I mean, it teaches you how to get feedback on your products. Like when you put a product out there, how do you get people to talk about it? How do you get people to comment on it? How do you get people to say good things about it? That's what that product teaches. But it's a small little system for this one aspect of, you know, product launching. And like, that's the kind of stuff that people need right now. People need these small little systems that can help them solve these little problems. But on Warrior Plus, you get a lot of big systems being sold at like, hey, let me show you how to make $400 a day in 20 minutes or something like that. You know what I mean? You get a lot of that kind of stuff. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm just saying when you buy stuff like that, very quickly you'll have like 4 or 5 arms in the fire, so to speak. You'll be like working on like 4 or 5 different projects. Oh man, I got this thing going on over here with these pop under ads. I got this thing going on over here with Patreon. I got this thing going on over here with Steam It. I got all these things going on because I bought these different courses off these recommended product creators. And now I'm doing like 8 different things and I'm not making any money and everything sucks and I'm super frustrated. I mean, I don't recommend that. So, but anyways, man, I think I just ramble on. Anyways, guys, look, bottom line, I've had a lot of fun talking to you guys right here on day 84. Man, if you guys could smash that like button, it helps me a lot. Appreciate you guys hanging out during this live stream. Good talking to you, Reserved, Ryan, Randy. Randy always shows up for my live stream. You're awesome, dude. Mitchy boy, guys, appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining me on this talk. Let me know in the comment section what kinds of things you guys would like to talk about. All right. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, everybody.